Let's talk about one important primitive basic data type in JavaScript, that is symbol. It's very special because of its unique behavior, and it cannot change its value. It means it's immutable. So let's try to understand how this newly introduced primitive data type in JavaScript, that is being introduced in ES6 version of the next generation JavaScript, help us. So we'll try to create a symbol here. Let's say, for example, N1 and a symbol. Very first thing, what exactly this function? So it's a simple global level function available to create a symbol for us. Okay, and let me just console it and see what's happening here. Yes, I'm getting something here called symbol. It is looking something like a function, but it is not a function the way we are able to see in console. It creating a unique identifier, and it's immutable. It cannot be changed. So let's try to create one more symbol here to prove the same. So I'm creating N2 symbol here, and I want to have a comparison between N1 and N2, both with double equal to and the triple equal to. So why I'm doing with double equal to? Because I just want to compare the value here, and here I want to compare the value plus data type. So of course the data type is similar for both of this because both are the symbol here. But as we have said, whenever you are creating a new symbol, it will create a unique symbol. So of course we should get false in both these cases. Yes, we are getting false here. So with this, we have proved whenever you are creating a new symbol, it will have its unique value that is not visible to us, but internally it is holding a unique value to it. For this particular symbol, we can also assign some description. Let's say, for example, here I can pass one parameter, for example, pi, and here also I will pass it. So a symbol creation is also accepting one description so that later it will be useful for what purpose you have created this symbol. For example, this is for pi, here I can do for something else. And even if you have given the description and everything, the basic behavior of symbol creation won't change. Here also, both the symbols will be created and having its own unique values, even though the descriptions are same. Let's prove the same in console. Yes, only the use of this particular description is if later in my code, I want to check this N1 symbol which I created previously, what was the purpose for that? So I can just see its description. It's an optional one to give the description for any symbol. Now let's talk about what will be the data type for the symbol. So let me say console type of N1. So we know N1 is a symbol here in this case, and I want to check the type of that we generally do for type of any object, type of the primitive data type, something. Let's check for this. We are getting a symbol data type here. So when type of is returning something to you with a unique symbol here, for example, symbol when you do for string, let me do it for string here called ABC. Let me do the same for number 101. So whenever this type of operator is returning something, it is returning the data type. And this data type will be the primitive data type. And that's the reason the symbol here is becoming the primitive data type in JavaScript. Let's talk about the behavior of this symbol in terms of the JSON when we convert to a JSON format or when we parse any string from the JSON. So I'll create here a simple object. I'll do one thing. I'll just create a name here and give the name. And here for symbol, let id equals to, I'll create a symbol id. Okay. And let's try to console the JSON conversion. Very first thing I would like to see inside this object, let's say add the id here and say 101. So this is an object which is holding two properties. One is the ID here and second one is the name. But make sure we are specifying the ID by giving the symbol here. And now what I will do, For this particular object, I'll try to convert before let's see the outcome. Yes, we are getting some object in which we are getting name and the symbol. Let's try to convert this into JSON dot stringify. So I want to convert this particular object into the normal string that I can pass to any third-party REST API. So it is just performing a JSON conversion in this case. And now, surprisingly, if you see, after the JSON conversion, you will not be able to see the ID inside that. So what we are understanding with this, the newly created primitive data type in JavaScript is not being supported by the JSON. So if you need any JSON related work, you need to pass some data to the backend or something wherein the JSON conversion is necessary. We should not use the symbol. This is the reason for that. Okay, let's try to understand one more quick example why we should use the symbols as a key in our object. What are the benefits of that? Let me just comment out the things whatever we have done till now and create a new one. So I'll create a simple object here again by giving a name here. Okay, that's perfect. So, and here what I'll do, I'll create an ID as a symbol. Okay, that's perfect. And what I'll do here, I'll say ob of ID equals to, I want to give some number called 101, for example. And let's console the object. So let's carefully understand what's happening here. We are simply creating an object in which only one property is there. Then separately, I'm creating a new symbol. And this symbol ID, I'm using it as a key to put it inside my object. So it is similar to the one ID equals to 101. So why I'm doing it here at the bottom? Because later I thought after my object creation, the new property called ID is also necessary for our working purpose or maybe our business requirement. So finally, if you just see the console here for the object, it will have two properties in it. One is the name and the second is the symbol ID. Let's see the console. Yes, so we are having the name here and the symbol ID 101. Now let's say this particular ID 101, if I want to later extract separately or I want to do some updations with that, I can only do by using this ID symbol, because we just now learned whenever we are creating a symbol, it creates a unique identifier in background. So without usage of this particular ID variable, ID symbol, I cannot access the object. Okay, let's try to do that. If I want to do here, for example, as generally we do, if I say here, for example, name. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm getting it. So for this particular object, I'm passing the property name. It means the key. So I'm able to see that. But in the same way, if I do for ID, I will not be able to get my ID, because it is not only ID, it is a symbol ID. And when it is a symbol ID, it has its unique value. We can only access that now by using this ID symbol. So if I just copy this and replace it over here, make sure I'm not mentioning as a string because I need to pass as a symbol here. That's the reason I removed these double quotes. Let's mention it ID. Okay, so this is how by using this particular ID itself, you can make use of this property and it will help you to make private some of the properties which you only want to access from out of your object or maybe some specific purpose. Let's try to create one more small updation in this program. So let's say function here, and the name of the function I'm creating modify, which is accepting an object as a parameter. And what this particular function is also doing, it is also adding a new symbol ID. It is creating a new symbol ID and inside the same object 101. Let me just complete this. Okay. what exactly is happening here? We are ready with our object, which is holding one property. Secondly, we are creating a unique symbol, which is stored under the ID variable. And now using that unique symbol of ID, we are adding a new property inside our object. Now our object is holding two properties. Now we are again calling the modify function, which is again creating a unique identifier, and it is adding a new property here called A101. Make sure this one and this one both are the two different properties. You can also consider it like this, ID1 and ID1. But what is the value inside the symbol is there, that is important to us. These are just the variables for us. So this property and this property both are different completely. Now let's see the outcome here. So inside our object, we are getting three properties. So this is the second one and this is the third one. If I want to access this third one here, over here at this particular point, is it possible? If I just try to do it ID here, no, because we are just having an ID which is available here for the symbol ID, line number 28. I can only access this 101. Let's see. So I'm getting 101, but if I want to get this particular A101, it is not possible. That is only possible when I'm having an access to this key. And if I want to do that, let's try to do it here on line number 22, OB of ID. Yes, line number 22, and here we are having an access to it. So now you can understand, if this is your function and you want to add some specific properties in your object that you only want to make access and you don't want to allow other people to access it. So you can create a separate unique symbols as it as a key. So it will give you the new properties inside your object. So this is one more use case of the symbols that we can use as a key inside our objects. Now let's also understand unique behavior of objects when we are adding the keys to it. So let's say, let me do the same one again. Okay, so here I'm having a simple object again, which is holding two properties inside it. Let's console first. Okay. Yeah. Now we know there are some inbuilt methods available inside the object using which we can get the keys or we can iterate over our object. So let's try to play around it. So I'm saying object dot keys. So it is just giving us one key, that is the name here. It is not giving the key for ID. And that's reason when we are creating the object properties by using the symbols as a key, it will make it as a private. It will not expose by using the object.keys or maybe the any for loop statement that we generally do on the object. Let's try to do with the for loop statement as well. So let key in object and console the key here. Let's comment it. So generally using that for loop statement, we should be able to loop over all the properties and we should be able to get the key of our object. But right now this ID symbol is not coming inside our looping, so which is making our property called ID more secure to this particular object. So this is how, using the new symbol primitive data type, the JavaScript making the object properties more secure by making it private, or we can also use it to create a unique identifier, and it's with unique behavior you can create great functionalities in JavaScript.